My guests are seated here in the studio, and so we'll get into the conversations this morning here on the show. Like I was mentioning before we went on the commercial break, Ijapadia is still trending, and we'll get into all of those discussions here. Togba Fede is stirring more controversy over claims that governments targeted his businesses. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the promise of the NDC to pay the admission fees for first-year students in the university. And of course, we'll talk about the MPP's expected manifesto launch in Takrade this weekend. My guests in the studio this morning, Chris Dugan Belami is a member of the NDC's communications team. Chris, good morning.
Good morning, Lantam. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
The good Lord has blessed me.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. You look blessed indeed.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
You look blessed indeed.
Yeah, because I'm someone who believes.
Make sure
God.
that the blessings are extended to others.
Oh, sure.
Including your fellow panelists.
It will.
And
it
me.
Will. It will.
Yeah.
It
Let
will.
the blessings.
And the blessings will extend to 7th December. And these blessings will bless all Ghanaians because we are getting a new leader. Not any.
Oh, definitely we are. Definitely we are getting a new leader.
Yes.
Either way, we are getting a new leader.
Not any other person, but the former president of the republic, the man with a track record, the man with impeccable track records, the incorruptible leader, the man who has no idea to introduce a state capture manual, a corruption manual, the man who's coming to give Ghanaian youth what they want, what we've been yearning for, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. So these blessings are indeed good blessings.
Okay.
Blessings from God.
Okay.
Not planned blessings from people within corridors of power to deceive the public that they are blessed when they know they are lootiness. So, Lantam, you've used the right frame that I am blessed. I am really blessed. And my party is blessed. My leader is blessed.
Amen.
And it will
Amen.
extend to my colleagues here.
Amen.
My MPP friend here and lawyer Jantua.
Amen. Also in the studio this morning is private legal practitioner Ishaq Ibrahim. He's lead lecturer in human rights law at the UPSA Law School, and he's a member of the MPP's communications team as well. Council.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, and good morning to your listeners. And it's quite interesting. I shared, let me say something very short. I share his hopes that we are getting a new president. And we all certainly know that Mahama is not a new president. He's an old president. So it is a prayer that I accept very, very quickly. So Bawumia is going to be our new president.
Is that so?
Hopefully come 7th December. And you can see it's even coming from an NDC communicators map that we are certainly going to get a new president. And Mahama is certainly not a new president.
Well, Mahama is not president now.
Well, he has been a president
so
before.
If he comes back,
new president. Something that has been a president before cannot be new.
Yeah, but if he comes back, he'll be a new president.
That's not a new president. That's a repeat president or whatever terminology we can use. So let's hope and pray that his prayer is really accepted. And our new president will be Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
I don't think he's praying for Dr. Bawumia to become president.
Sometimes we pray, but we don't really know.
I don't think that is his prayer.
Okay.
God will not repeat another curse on Ghanaians.
Oh,
the good Lord
Another
that we
curse.
serve will not repeat another curse on Ghanaians.
what do you mean by that?
Oh, you don't know that?
What? I don't know. Tell me.
Look at the leadership Bawumia is offering to Ghanaians. Isn't it a curse?
It's a curse.
God will not do that. The good Lord will not do that. God wouldn't repeat. God is not a wicked God. God doesn't think like man.
God shall.
So God will not give us a wicked leader again. God has given us a leader that we should just test the kind of leadership he will offer. So God will not do that, my good friend. God will not give us another wicked.
From the Convention People's Party, private legal practitioner, Mr. Kwame Jantua is in the studio. Mr. Jantua, good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning to our listeners. and I won't say your listeners, they are our listeners because they listen to us.
Yes.
But when you say blessing, what kind of blessing are you looking at? The blessings come in different ways. So, what blessing are you targeting?
Well, I asked him how he was doing. He said he's blessed.
When you said blessing, was the blessing meant because of what you then added to it, or you genuinely felt he was blessed? Which is which?
I asked him how he's doing. He said he's blessed.
Yes, and then you said.
And I said he looks blessed.
Yes, and it should be extended.
It
What
should be
part of
extended.
blessing should be extended.
Oh,
Whatever he's blessed with.
the financial blessings.
I said how bad the other so. Financial blessings. Anyway, new means fresh.
Yeah.
It could have happened that you had been there before and you are coming into a fresh system. President Akufo-Addo, when he won 2020, was a new president, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It was a new regime.
Yeah.
It was a new era. So it's new. If President Mahama comes,
Is it new?
he's new.
Even though he has been president
He has
before.
finished his term. That's in the past.
So a new
It's a
administration.
new administration. Before Jesus came, what was there? Isn't it the same God? But Jesus came, things were new. No, be so?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
you see, I have supporter. Be so.
well, you're welcome, gentlemen. So let's cut to the chase, shall we? With this Ejapadia document, which is still trending, because Tugbe Afede has stirred a little bit of controversy, talking about his businesses suffering under this government. And he said he's inclined, to take a second look at the Ejapadia document. Chris, let me begin with you, on this, because it was on President Mahama's Volta regional tour
Don't worry.
that the venerable Tugbe Afede the 14th spoke.
Don't worry. Lantam, once again, let me say good morning to our cherished listeners. And I am happy Lawyer Jantua has summarized the whole argument that new is new. New is new. Everyone knows what new is, except people who doesn't believe in anything, who believe in themselves alone. And for them, they believe that their understanding is the best. That is why we keep saying that for them, the delusion they live in is something that they believe everybody live in delusion like them. New is new, and President Mama is going to be new president, new change, new era, new plans,
The second coming of John.
new transformation plans.
The second coming of
Lanta,
John.
are you a Christian?
I'm a Christian.
So Christ, myself and you who believe in the Holy Bible,
Yes.
we say the second come of Christ.
Yes.
So should he land today? It's not new.
No, he's not new. We
That
already
is-
know him.
Well, that's your opinion.
Would Jesus Christ be new to you?
That's your opinion.
You'll not be new
He'll
to
be
you.
new to me because I've heard the name. I believe in him. I haven't seen him.
But you'll not be new to you. If you've
For
heard
me,
the
he'll be
name,
new.
if you heard the name and you've accepted
For
him
Christ-
as your Lord and
for
personal
Christ,
Savior,
he'll be very new.
and he lives in you, and you believe that he will come again, he will not be new to
things
you.
I've heard. Things I've heard.
But anyway, we
I've not
digress.
failed. I haven't seen it. So for me, it's new to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Ajapade document that our revered chief, Tugbe Afede, has finally said, look, he's going to have a relook of the book. Beginning, he was having doubt. Now he has feel it himself.
He said he finds it difficult to believe that the Japadia document is genuine, but some of the things
Exactly.
are
What he has
happening, and
seen
he's
now.
also experiencing
You
some.
see, President Mama have said this from day one. They said Japade documents is a fabricated document, especially from we in the NDC. Others say it is fake. It is a fictitious document, that they don't believe it. And we ask a simple question. If indeed this book is fabricated, what of the implementation? Do you know why the revered chief is saying what he has said? Because of what is happening. Because in the book is saying that there are certain businessmen that they are going to target. and they will make sure they collapse their businesses in favor of Amal Bank. And he was one of the people, he was one of those names that has been mentioned, that the businesses that they target. We saw the collapsing of the banks. Collapsing of the banks, if you go to Ajapade book, it's there. It's one of the plans. We shall collapse the banks. So what is happening? If you sit down, look at what is happening in the country under this regime, you just oppose it to what is written in that book. You know that, look, this is a manual. This is a manual for MPP to corrupt and take over the state. That is their manual. If they practice the state capture plans and the corruption and they get to the wall, they go back to the book and revise it, because all the plans are documented in that book. They don't just sleep and wake up and go and do whatever they are doing. They have it in the book. From a particular period, this is what we are going to do. You follow the same thing is happening. Who knows that Osafumafu's son was going to be the boss of SNIT? Is he not the boss? Is it not written in that book that Osafumafu's son shall take over SNIT and we shall deplete the state properties among ourselves? All these things are stated in the book and it is happening. Do you know the rocket scientist to tell you that this thing is not just real? It's a planting. They have a manual that they follow.
I mean, all of this is just speculation, right?
That is speculation.
Just
speculation in which way?
There's a document out there with a faceless author.
You see,
we don't know where it came from.
The first I heard,
and the place where it's purported to be coming from, you know, has denied it categorically. You've heard the Ochehine Osajifo Amwitia for repaying, you know, categorically denying this as just propaganda and an attempt to tarnish the image of the Achim people. We should disregard it. We've heard presidents Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo also describe this as, it's just propaganda.
Lantab, this
not
alone,
true. It should be disregarded. And we don't know the author. Do you know the author?
Let me answer you.
Answer me.
This alone, this statement coming from president,
yes,
and Ochehine has underscored the uselessness of this president and the government. If somebody, as they claim, has fabricated a document to tarnish the image of Achim people, which he, president, is Achim man, and he's commander-in-chief of Ghana Armed Forces, they cannot investigate to find out who is that fellow. And he comes to tell us that the book is not emanating from them. It is somebody who sat there because we don't have an author of the book. It is somebody who doesn't like the Oforipenyi half people. It's not all the Achims who.
Is that not a possibility?
The Achim people there.
Is that
so
not
somebody is sitting somewhere, publishing a document, releasing a document to tarnish their image, and he, president, cannot do anything about it.
Is that not a possibility? Is it not possible that somebody
possible
may have sat down to
myself and you
cook this to cause disaffection for the
Let me
MPP?
tell you something.
Yes.
Me seated here, who has no any power in this country, if somebody should release a document and I feel the document indicts me within my own powers that I feel I can do as a citizen, as far as the laws are concerned, I will do all what I can to exonerate myself, asking or negotiating for proper investigations to find out who is that person. If you are a president, commander-in-chief, all investigative institutions in these countries are under you. If really it is true that they are innocent about this manual, I believe that is their manual, that is their corruption manual. If they are innocent, what have they done? They should let us know. Expose the person. Lantam, there is no amount of denial that will exonerate them. They will explain tire. We are aware. Look, we are not even following. We are not more going through what is written in the book. We believe in the implementation. It is not about what is written. It is about the implementation. Myself and you, before we praise a government or before we speak out or we explain good governance or good policy, a good policy is not about launching a policy. It is about implementing it. If you launch a policy today, we cannot clap for you because you've launched a policy. We'll be clapping for you when the policy is what? Is properly implemented. And that is what we are saying. The writings in this Ajapade book, it is not, look, let's shift the debate from what is written in the book and debate on what is happening. We are talking about what is happening. That is what the revered chief is saying, that if before he has doubt, but the implementation has convinced him to believe that it is true. It not be so. Lanta, it not be so. It is about the implementation. That's why, as you know, that
he didn't say the implementation has convinced him that it is true. He didn't say that. He only talked about some of the things that are happening, that are written in the book, are actually happening. But he didn't categorically say that he believes that because of that it is true.
Let me tell you,
but he cited instances where his own business has been disturbed and has been hounded and all of that.
You are hosting me.
So,
yes, you have asked a question.
Yes, but when you say something, I need to correct you. So I correct it.
Have you sat chief for even 30 minutes before?
Yes.
You know how chiefs speak.
Yes.
So if you've been with even your village chief, you understand this revered chief. The revered chief does not need to say that, look, ABC.
And so
the explanation where he
we need to put it.
Listen to what he says.
We need to put it in that context.
He said his businesses have been targeted. Is it not true in the book?
So we need to put it in that context and make sure that we are not
the context I'm putting into you is that.
So let me quote the Ochehene for you, so that I'll put it in that context. It says, not the Ochehene, Togbe Afede, the 14th. I found it difficult to believe that was a genuine document, but of course, certain things we go through give us thoughts to the contrary. I recall in 2019 thereabouts, we received a letter for us to sign pre-written in our names to resign from a group of companies that advises government on its bond issues. That came as a shock. So he goes on and then recounts his experiences. So just to put it in that context, this is the quote.
It's the same context I'm giving. I'm saying that all what he has said, is it not written in the book? It is the implementation. That's why I told you, it's not about what, we shouldn't concentrate on what is written. It's within their right to deny the writings of the book. What of the implementation? Who's implementing it for them? I ask you a simple question. Before this book, myself and you, were we aware that Osafo Manfo's son will take over SNIT? Were we aware that SNIT properties, they will sell it among themselves? Were we aware? The collapse of banks. Go to the book. In fact, if in any case, we have our traditional beliefs in this country. One of the leading members of MPP who believe in that book, Hossein Adoye, has dared them that if they know the book does not emanate from their end, they should all go and curse.
But he has been sued.
Listen,
Hossein Adoye has been sued for defamation.
Because he has been sued. He has been sued by who?
He has been sued.
By who? By Ochehene or President Akufo-Addo?
Yeah, by the Ochehene's people.
Ochehene or Ochehene's people?
That's where the suit is coming from.
Is it from Ochehene or Ochehene people?
It's immaterial.
Look, let us give the right information.
The fact is that he has been sued.
The person who sued him, Ochehene secretary.
So
and that doesn't mean people. That doesn't look. He has dared them. Let's go and curse. I made mention of traditional beliefs.
But if he doesn't,
why are they running away from the case rather going to court? And of course, Hobson said he's ready. Besides, of course, Hobson said he's ready to go to court and testify. Look, we don't need to waste our energy to debate on their denial.
Okay, all right.
My brother, the implementation of the book, the plans in the book.
All right, let me come to
has made it clear that this book, that is their plan. The book is their manual. That is the manual for corruption and state capture.
All right.
President Akufo-Addo cannot deny it. And look, we in NDC throw a challenge. He said the book emanates from NDC. That alone underscore his uselessness as a president. If you that a president of opposition can fabricate a book
Chris,
to tarnish your image.
Chris,
and
please.
allow us free
Chris,
to
hold on,
take
hold on,
it.
hold on. I've put off your mic, please. Let's be mindful. Let's be mindful of some of the kind of words
But
that we
how
use to
can
describe.
opposition
No,
fabricate
hold on.
to tarnish president and
Hold
his tribe
on,
people,
hold on.
his tribe
Let's
chief
be
image?
mindful. Let's be mindful of
And
some
we
of
are
the words.
free.
I'm talking to you. Let's be mindful of some of the words that we use to describe.
Okay, so
our
which
leaders,
one should I use?
so that it doesn't seem
It
like
has
we are.
underscored his incompetence.
You can.
You are okay that
probably
way.
you can use
so it
that.
has underscored his incompetence.
You can use that.
If
but
opposition
please,
can
don't be
fabricate
using
a
words,
book,
don't be using words like
agree.
useless
I'm
and
saying that
all of that.
If opposition can fabricate a book to tarnish his image and his kinsmen and his president of the republic, and he cannot do anything to prove to the Ghanaian people that opposition is creating the unnecessary noise, opposition is trying to tarnish his image,
All right. Very well.
and
Let
he
me bring
only
in
say it by
Ishak now.
mouth,
Let me bring in
then
Ishak
indeed
now.
he's crass incompetence, hopelessly incompetent.
Ishak,
Yes.
let me bring you into the conversation now.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you have some rebuttals and
Oh,
responses.
yes. A lot of them. Thank you very much. And once again, good morning to your listeners. In fact, it saddens me that we are still on this particular topic. And what makes it very sad is that it is regenerated by one of our revered chiefs. Talking about chiefs and politics is a very sensitive matter for me for two main reasons. One, I'm coming from a similar family in the Northeast region. And two, I'm also one of the lawyers for the Nayeri, the overlord of Mamprego. So I find it very difficult when it comes to chiefs. Nonetheless, he has invited us to look at the appropriateness of what he has said. This is a highly charged political topic. One, you can see the comments he passed about the president being incompetent. But as compared to his running mate with the president, I mean, he's known to be incompetent. It was for this reason that Ghanaians have decided to give him one term. And I think because of his competency, Ghanaians will make him remain one-term president. So after the incompetency, that one is very clear who is incompetent. Good people of Ghana have seen that Akufo-Addo is really, really competent. So after his first administration, because of his competence, he was rewarded by a second term.
He exonerate himself.
He was rewarded by a second term.
He exonerate himself.
Ghanaians told Muhammad to go home and retire after having one term because of his competency. So it's very clear who is incompetent. Having said that, let me come back to this particular sad topic that we are still in. It is one of the revered chiefs in Ghana who has done it. And the constitution is very clear. This is a highly charged political topic. And the constitution said that chiefs must not involve themselves in active party politics.
So is Togba for the commenting on this
Yes,
thing,
that is
him engaging in active party politics?
Yes. This is a highly charged political topic.
Well, and then in that
his
instance,
comments.
in that instance, then
Yes.
every chief whom
Yes.
a politician calls on is engaged in active party politics.
No, denier is different from somebody actually promoting
Because
something.
if you say that because Togba Fede made a certain comment because he's a businessman as well, and because
Yes.
he made
He is a
comments,
business-
first of all saying he doubts the validity
Yes.
of the Japadia
Yes.
document, but some of the things in the document are happening because of that. He's engaged in active party politics.
I will come
Cancel.
to that. Yes,
Really?
he is. It's a
Really?
highly. You see, we came to this conclusion in the Constitution that chief must not involve themselves in active party politics for two main reasons.
His name is not on any ballot paper. He
No,
hasn't.
but
He hasn't
is,
endorsed.
He is
any,
part of.
He hasn't
he is
endorsed any
actively
presidential.
promoting a political debate on a topic that was even dead. I thought after last week, having looked at the authenticity of this document, nobody would waste their time continuing discussing this topic. And I believe the statement he made tell us that he's actively taking part in politics, of which the Constitution frown upon. That chiefs should not engage themselves in active party politics. One main reason why the Constitution tells us that because of our history.
I find it difficult to
to believe that.
to
that is politics.
accept that Togba Fede, because of what he said, is engaging in active
It is.
party politics.
It
I find it
is.
difficult to accept.
Let me tell you my inspirations from. For example, having said about our history, how comments and small meddling by the chiefs in the first administration, on the first Republican Constitution, led to so many problems with the sitting president and that of our chiefs. We decided that it wasn't right for them to take active part in active politics, especially commenting in a matter of this nature. The second reason is that we had the inspiration from our colonial masters. It's often said that the Queen or the King of England is above politics. And therefore, even if he has concerns, he should not even be expressing them in public. Because he's above politics.
All right, so would you also say that
Yes.
Otiko Koswo Tumfo to the second is also engaged in active party politics? Would you say that?
It depends on what they say.
Well, when Napo visited him at Mission,
Yes.
he was blessing Napo. Some of the things he said, even though he didn't
It did not-
tacitly
Yes.
endorse some of the things that he said. I mean,
Yes.
this is our son, so go and do what is right for us and all of that. I mean, people can also
What
say
is
that
right
he's-
for Ghana?
what
He
is
actually
right.
said what
so
is
if,
right
if you
for
want
Ghana.
to speak in that context, then every chief in this country is engaged in active
No,
party
there's
politics.
nothing
if
wrong.
If that is
There's
what,
nothing wrong.
If that is,
So what
because
he
that is
did-
because some people are saying it is akin to an endorsement, even though he didn't say
No,
it
that-
explicitly.
that's
but
not.
he was very because we know the way Otunfor speaks. He was very
Yes.
careful about what he's saying and
The
all of
words
that to
he
make
used,
sure.
yes.
But I mean, they went to Menshia, they went
No.
to the Otunfor. This is my son,
Yes.
and we know that you will do well. You do this for us,
Yes.
and all of that. People can read in between the lines and try and say that, but
Yes.
you cannot say that. People are not saying Otunfor is engaged in active party, but that's why I'm saying if that were the case, then
Okay.
every single chief whom any politician calls on is engaged in active party politics.
I would comment in that very quickly, but I think we are digressing. But I think what Otofo said did not amount to engaging in active politics.
Yeah, but Togba Fede is
Even
engaged
though,
in active
yes,
politics.
his job, when you look at it,
I really
he
find it hard to
warned. It was
reconcile
a
what you are
warning
saying.
he gave an encouragement. You can warn as a chief, encourage
I'm not talking
and
about
advise.
the warning and encouragement. I'm
But when
I'm talking about being proud that our son is going
Yes.
there. So go
Well, if
and
it
go
is,
and do
if it
and
is
make us
really
proud.
a son from that side, there's nothing wrong with encouraging him and warning him and asking him to
But
do
anyway,
the best
we
for Ghana.
digress. We digress. But back to the topic.
So I think this is a highly political charge issue, and chiefs should try their best for the interest of Ghana to stay away with highly charged political issues.
So Chief can't
because when
comment
you
on
get
political-
involved like the way he does, he will tend to undermine some of his subjects.
So are you trying to say a chief cannot comment on a political matter?
Things of this nature,
A chief cannot
I think
comment
is
on
not
a political
advisable.
matter?
I think that was
So
why
if
the
if
Constitution.
Dr. Baumia goes to a chief and
Yes.
goes and then is on a campaign platform or something and then
I think we are still digressing.
we are staying on the topic.
Okay.
Promises that I'll
Yes.
do A, B, C, D, and then the chief comes and says, "Oh, this is a very good policy. It will help the country and it's all of that."
Yes.
It's a political campaign promise, and the chief is commenting on it. Is the chief engaged in active party
That
politics?
is encouragement. No, that's
I
not.
really don't get it.
I think we are
I
confusing
really
the
don't
two.
get it. But anyway,
When
let's
something
get
is
on with it.
highly political charged with, especially a document of this nature, I believe if somebody is talking to that content and promoting it and saying that and suggesting that it is true, because he has been seen in implementing, I think he's engaging in active party politics, and he will undermine some of his subjects who do not share the same opinion with him. Having said that, he claimed that he was very doubtful about it, but having looked through, even he received some letters and other things, and he therefore believed that it is probably true. It's still inappropriate. You see, he might be affected by government policy, but it doesn't suggest that such a document is being implemented. One way or the other, we are all at some point in our lives affected by change of government policies. So if you were doing well or if you were doing some particular thing, and there's a change of policy that you are being duly notified, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. So I think from last week, we realized that this document was a worthless document. So the end is so.
Last week, define we.
The people of Ghana realized that this was a worthless document, except some few people.
You did interviews with the people of Ghana to tell
Listen, I've listened to the media, I've seen the reaction. The people who are pushing it had an agenda. They wanted Ghanaians to receive it with the effect of earthquake everywhere. No. But the people of Ghana largely disregarded it and they rightly did so because this is a fake document.
Said by who?
For example, As we rightly discovered last week, this document was not prepared in 2017. This document is being edited with mischief in mind. It's being edited. It claims it makes certain predictions. A document that was prepared in 2017 would predict that Mustafa Hamid will be removed and replaced by Kojo Mfo Nkrumah, and he's welcoming it. How is that possible? How is that possible? Somebody sat somewhere, prepared it, edit it as time goes by to reflect events, and think that we should all be fooled into thinking that this is a grand plan. And as I said last week, if this document was indeed true, the password that would have protected it would have been much difficult to predict than a cryptocurrency.
That's just conjecture now.
No, it's not conjecture, because it would have been so valuable to those individuals. I mean, look at the forward of that document, apparently signed by our former finance minister. I mean, is that possible? A document that is meant to be secret, and it turned out that even the signature is fake. The signature, apparently signed by our former finance minister, that signature is a fake.
But how do you?
signature.
Chris talks about, let's debate the
Implementation.
contents of some of the
Okay.
things that are happening.
Yes.
And mind you, some people have older versions
Yes.
of this so-called the Japadia document.
Yes.
And it would seem as though there's another version which is out there which has all of these new edits in them. So it looks like as and when something happens, it is edited and then it is added to the document. But if you speak to a lot of other people, they have a certain original document that they've had for some time, which contains portions of the Japadia document, which is different from some of those that have been circulating now, which seem to have been edited. Now, so if we want to focus on the original so-called Japadia document, which talks about certain things that will happen, and those things are happening,
Yeah.
isn't it a cause for worry?
I have not seen the original document.
Isn't
but
it a cause
having
for worry?
said that,
I mean, it's similar. It's
we have
essentially
to-
the same things, but for
Yes.
new things have been
So you
added as
see-
and when
So you
things
see,
keep on
one
happening.
can easily do that. As you rightly
Yes.
said, it's being edited.
Yes.
But one thing I want to make clear is that Kim people.
So Chris was talking about the implementation.
Yes.
Things are actually
What-
happening.
what
Are
he
we not
need-
concerned about
what
some of
he
the things
needs
that
to
are
accept
happening?
that Kim people are part and parcel of Ghanaian society. There will be a role that they will have to play in promoting modern Ghana.
Yeah.
Because they are part and parcel of Ghanaian society, holding a position doesn't talk to the point that they are implementing whatever plan that was put in place. No, they'll be playing a very important role. Most of them are highly, highly educated. I have visited Ochihini Palace where my former lecturer, constitutional law lecturer, was going to be installed as a chief. I visited the palace. You could see there are highly qualified intellectuals among them. And it wouldn't be surprise me if they are appointed to hold a particular position. It doesn't surprise me. And it doesn't suggest that it's being implemented. And as I said last week again, look, if you are out to do mischief and you are looking for evidence, one way or the other, you can always get isolated things that you can point to and make what they call it somebody who is not really critical to begin to believe these particular things. So I still come back to the original point that things of political nature this way, the Constitution frown upon it.
Okay.
And our chiefs should try their best to maintain some level of decorum so that they don't comment on such things.
All right, let me come to Mr. Jantua now. Mr. Jantua, let me bring you into the conversation. You've already heard the first two, your co-panelists speak on these things that Dr. Afede has been saying has been happening to him, even though he had some doubts about the authenticity of the Japadia document. Some things are happening to him, which is, making him wonder whether or not it is really true.
Antam, good morning to our listeners and viewers again. Let me start by saying that this particular document does not involve the Achim nation, if I can call it a nation. It involves a particular house in Achim, Oforipenyi's house. So we should be very mindful of trying to paint every Achim with this document. That isn't it. It is emanating from a particular house of the Achim nation, which happens to be the house where the president is from. So, let me ask the question. The president, did he tell us that there will be no haircut?
He did.
The president, did he tell us that he'd put his presidency on the line for Galamsey?
He did.
The president, did he tell us, there was a third one he told us. There was the haircuts, the Achim one, and
You mean the Galamsey one?
the Galamsey one. And did he tell us we are not going to go to IMF?
The finance minister told us that we'll not go to the IMF.
So,
Did we hear the president say we won't go to the IMF? We had the finance minister and the deputy finance
yes,
minister.
but the finance minister, when he talks,
Yeah.
doesn't he talk from power?
Oh yeah, he does, but
Uh-huh.
but we didn't hear the president
well,
specifically say we will not go to the IMF.
In fact, he is directly in line with the president. It's his relative. So we can see the president agreed to the statement that was made by the finance
But it's the
minister.
same president who called the finance minister to ask him to go
because
to the
his
IMF.
back was against the wall.
Yeah.
His back was
Yeah.
against
So
the
if you
wall.
want to say strictly,
So
the
I'm
president
trying-
never really told us
so,
that we will not
well,
go to the
the
IMF.
president never said, but he agreed. So, okay, if you want me to leave that out, I'll leave that out. The first two, did he say it or he didn't say it?
He said it.
So can you believe the president when he says he knows nothing about
President
this?
said Ghana beyond a lawyer. Ghana beyond a. Didn't he say
Eh? Can you believe the president when he says he knows nothing about this document?
Oh, he said it's
Can
not
you?
authentic.
Huh?
He said it's
He
it's
said
not
it is
authentic.
his opponents. If it is his opponents, he should take them to court. If the president feels his opponents are defaming him, he should take them to court.
Well, somebody has been taken
Has
to
he
court.
been able? It's not the president. I'm saying the president. If he says they defamed him, he should get his lawyers to take the NDC to court and those opponents he's pointing to. That means he has evidence. Has he been able to? He can't. Nobody who has a plan. And remember, this document is a strategic document. A document that is meant for implementation.
So you believe in the documents?
Are you trying to tell
authenticity?
me? Are you trying to tell me that we're sitting in Ghana here? A document falls from the sky like the golden stool,
Well, obviously,
and we
someone
don't
put it
and we
together.
don't know where it's from.
But it was,
And
it
we
was,
don't
it was
have
probably
we
put
don't
together
we
for
don't
propaganda
we
purposes.
don't have a security service in place in this country. You're trying to tell me that our security services would not be able to pinpoint where this document comes from? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Is that what you're trying to say? Are we children in this country? Are we?
So you're saying
Are
if it's fake news or misinformation, then the security agencies should go after whoever
This,
did it and put it out there.
Prof is saying, are you a prof or a doctor?
No, I'm not.
You're a doctor.
I'm just a
Council,
lawyer.
council,
Okay, council.
yeah, council.
Council is saying it's a highly charged political document. What is highly charged political document if the president has denied it? What makes it highly charged?
Well, it's a political issue
What makes it
that has
highly
become a-
charged?
a
The president said he
subject
knows
matter.
nothing about it, so he's washed his hands off it. What makes it highly charged? What makes it highly charged? So you're trying to tell me that what we've seen in implementation is a coincidence. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Is that what you're trying to tell me? It's a coincidence when it looks ditto to what is in this document? I said last week, the president even shouldn't have mentioned this thing. It would have died its natural death. But if you realize, the president always, anytime he brings up something, it turns into something else. Galamsey, it turns into negativity, not positivity. He said he's put his presidency on the line. Galamsey has reached our roads. Hasn't it? Hasn't it? Tell me, you're a media man. Hasn't Galamsey now reached our roads? It's even threatening the integrity of a major road, hasn't it? And he said he's put his presidency on the line. What did he mean by saying, I've put my presidency on the line? So I asked the question.
to deal with Galamsey. So,
as-
meaning at all costs, you make sure that Galamsey is dealt with.
And if I can't deal with it, I'm off. Is he off?
Well, he's
Is
going-
he still not there?
He's going off.
No, this was before 2020.
Yeah, it was.
Is he still not there? Did he still not stand?
He did.
So what are we talking about? What are we talking
So,
about?
so your premise is because the president
This
has not been able to come
document-
through, or
this
has not been able to
Lantam-
put. I want to get a context because the president has not been able to put his money where his mouth is, as far as the fight against Galamsey is concerned, as far as something like maybe a Ghana Beyond Aid is concerned, as far as there will be no haircut is concerned, and all of that. So it means you don't believe anything the president says.
Truth is the name of the game.
So is that so? You don't believe anything the president says?
He is a president. He has been given the power of the people by the people. And he's supposed to rule in favor of the people. And whatever he says should be truthful. That is his mandate. You don't just take anybody to be president. If the people have invested their trust in you to go and take care of the country's finances and the country as an entity, you will do anything to do it. And by the way, let me also tell you, if you are voted on there to be president, you are a servant to the people. You are not there because you feel it is mine and I own it. What is happening in this particular regime? What is happening? Are we not having quite a lot of people leaving this country? Are we not? Is it not true? Doctors, nurses, and people trying to find the youth, aren't they trying to find their way out of this country?
Yeah.
Why? When the president came in 2016, what did he tell us? We would try and add value, not taxation. What has happened?
From taxation to production.
What has happened?
Well, they are doing factories.
What has happened?
1D, 1F, and all those things.
Did they prioritize that 1D, 1? Look, I'll tell you, policies that this government has brought in, some of the policies are fantastic. Planting for Food and Jobs, 1. Go and read it. Fantastic document. Where it brings everybody together in terms of agriculture. Where it even states everybody should try and have a farm in their house. If we were able to have implemented it, would we have inflation, food inflation rising 34%? So some of the policies he's brought us has been good. Has he been able to implement? And that is the challenge. That is the challenge. And that is what brings this question of what he says. Is it true or is it false? Or he's just in there to be president and president just for that sake. So, you can't convince me that this document is not true.
You believe it's true.
You cannot convince me. Nobody can convince me.
So you believe someone from
There's
Operi-
nobody.
from Operi-
There's
Operi-
nobody.
Operi-
Listen, there's
authored
nobody.
this.
There's nobody who will be doing something and is caught and will accept to it. Nobody in such a high position. If for nothing at all, let me finish. If for nothing at all, the first day of Oripenyi, the chief, saw his picture on this thing. That was the first day he should have acted. The first day he saw his picture. If I
don't
saw,
think from the beginning they were changing his
I
picture
saw
was ever on it.
whatever the case, his picture is on now. If I
don't think
saw
from
my
the beginning
if
when-
I saw my picture on this thing and I know the people who did it, I will sue. Look, the suing he's doing now is for defamation. It's not for this document.
Well, but it's related.
Well,
The defamation is related to what was said.
But so he's trying to say that the document he doesn't know where it's from. Some people have attached his name to it, so he's suing them for defamation. I don't think that this document, when you even read the forward of this document, it's a strategic policy document of a group of people from Achim. You cannot convince me otherwise. You cannot, especially when implementation seems to be in line with what is in the document.
Exactly.
I find it difficult. I find it difficult. I find it difficult. I find it very difficult. And if Togba Akfede is now telling us that, I really didn't think this document was true, but on reflection, looking at some of the things that have happened to me, it could be possible that this document is true. Then we all have to come to a position of trying to find who edited this document.
You're still listening to Star 103.5 FM. This is the Morning Star. And my guests in the studio have just been dealing with some issues that have come up because Togbe Afede brought them up in relation to the Ijapa document. But let me remind you that you could be the luckiest. Luck is a life-changing event, and we believe that everyone deserves a shot at it. Luck is coming with prizes that are so exciting that it will make your head spin. So if you want to be the luckiest, dial *712# and get your ticket. The more you buy, the better your chances of winning. And remember that when you hear that catchy jingle, it is your cue to pay attention. It could be your lucky day. Luck is on its way to you and your community. So stay sharp. The luckiest. Luck is everywhere. Also, are you a small to medium-sized business looking to manage communication costs effectively? Well, if you are, the MTN SME Plus is offering you flexible prepaid packages, classic, super, or premium, that include talk time, SMS, and data and voice services. So enjoy free on-net calls every Monday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Dial *5060#, *5060# to subscribe today. For more, and of course, you know that MTN is everywhere you go, and MTN says #Let's get business done better. Also, the University of Ghana School of Law is pleased to announce that admissions for the next cohort of the MA and LLM programs is now open and will close on the 31st of August 2024. The University of Ghana School of Law offers an unparalleled teaching and learning environment for students, and the students benefit from a unique opportunity to attend summer schools in prestigious Ivy League institutions in the USA, as well as leading universities in England and other top-tier law schools globally. This international exposure sets the University of Ghana School of Law apart, providing students with a distinctive edge in their legal education and career prospects. Call any of these numbers for more information. Oba is 055-137-1319. Naomi is 055-133-0203. Vero is 053-128-2413. You can also send an email to osabwaje@ug.edu.gh. Osabwaje is spelled OSAAHABOAGYE. The University of Ghana School of Law, get there for a world-class legal education experience. And Hisense. At Hisense, you know that there's a commitment to go beyond just the products, here to support you with the best deals of the season. So from the 19th of August to the 28th of August, explore exclusive savings on premium range of electronic appliances, whatever it is that you want to buy, from chest freezers to air conditioners to gas cookers to television sets. Visit any of the showrooms across the country and elevate your living spaces and love your home, your office, your school, or your hotel with state-of-the-art electronics. Plus the assurance of up to a 5-year manufacturer defect warranty on all purchases. So make sure that you don't miss out on this. It's a first come first serve offer for 9 days only. For 9 days only, from August 19th to the 28th of August. So remember that terms and conditions apply. Hisense is everyday prices for everyday people. Let me come back to my guests in the studio. Mr. Janto, I wanted to make one last point before.
There's a name on there. Oferiatta. You don't think if that Oferiatta on there, he shouldn't come and tell us, I know nothing about this. Shouldn't he? Should he not? How many people from Achim House have we heard talking about this document? If it is false, how many?
Well, okay.
How many? If it is false, how many have decided to talk about it? Because if it's false, you would try as much as possible to prove that you've got nothing to do with it.
Right. But it's difficult to
And if
sue
the
on some of these
president,
things
and
if you
if
don't know
the
the source of
no,
it.
but the president has source He said it's his opponents, NDC, his opponents.
So he should sue the NDC.
Exactly.
All right. Chris, Dugan, Bellamy, let me come back to you on this for the next just 2 minutes to round up on this issue, and then we'll move to the next issue. Just 2 minutes.
Lantam,
2 minutes.
see, I'm so happy that Lawyer Jantwa has re-echoed what I've said about the implementation. You remember I told you that even debating on what is written in the document is not that important to me. Like the implementation, this cannot be coincidence. This is a grand scheme document plan to capture this country, to corrupt this country. And I'm happy. It believe that when you say something that it has been re-echoed by another person, it means you are making sense. Look, you as a journalist, when you publish false information, you can be prosecuted. Hope you know that. If you give out a false information, you publish a false document, you can be prosecuted by our laws. They are lawyers and they know better. And I'm told the president is a lawyer. If indeed NDC has fabricated this false document.
You are told he's a lawyer. He's a lawyer.
That I said I am told he's a lawyer.
No, don't do that. That one I won't agree with
and
you.
the president is a lawyer.
Exactly.
Lawyer Jantwa.
Exactly.
He's a lawyer.
Yes. So
And he knows better.
Yes.
The NDC has fabricated a false document which indict he and his kinsmen. He cannot prosecute us with evidence. All he can do is to come and make that wild allegation as a lawyer. And when I say this underscores his incompetence, this underscores that he has no business to be there. He's not a leader, an ordinary citizen who is not placed at that position, even have the rights and knows better to fight for himself, to protect his image, to exonerate himself. And if you are a president, and there is a document all over that has exposed your evil plans, and you come out to point fingers at your opponents and you cannot do something to exonerate, you can't prove to Ghanaians that I'm innocent. You don't deserve to be a leader. Look, this document, MPP, no matter the platform they will use to explain, there is no amount of denials that will let Ghanaians believe that you are not aware. Okay. The reshuffles, the changes they do in government, apart from, the state, the property they are amassing for themselves, the positions, change of positions in government, it goes in line with this document. The businesses that have been targeted, the people that they collapse their businesses in this country, all this is written in the document. And lawyer made a very pronounced statement, and I like it. So, to the extent that your name, your picture, has been put on a document, Mr. President, your kinsman, Ochihinu, picture is there.
Ochihini has sued.
Look, no, you see, let's get it right. Not Ochihini. He's the secretary.
Yeah, but it's
no
still from...
Ochihini is the secretary. You
well,
don't go to court and say...
It's still from there.
Listen, who is the plaintiff? It is the secretary. It is the secretary who steal.
Okay.
All president can do for his chief is to say that it's NDC. Without investigation, you believe that anybody can write a document to indict the leadership of this country or the chiefs, the clergy in this country, publish it, and walk away free. No investigation, security cannot trace to get the fellow. Is that what you are saying?
All right, very well.
If indeed,
let me come to Ishak.
I'm concluding here.
Yes, let me come to Ishak. The 2 minutes are.
Anybody can write a document and throw it out there to tarnish people's image, and the fellow cannot be investigated. The fellow cannot be brought to book. Then we have nothing like a country.
Ishak, yes. Let me come to you now.
Yes.
2 minutes.
It is sad for two reasons. It is sad that something that is obviously false and fake, the CPP and the NDC cannot recognize it as such. And it is sad that the CPP is actually trying to agree with the NDC. It doesn't surprise me that Ghanaians don't take the CPP seriously anymore, because they are seen to be an extension of the NDC. A serious party
where does this come from?
should clearly.
Lanta, you don't allow him to go into that tangent.
No,
This has
no,
nothing to do with
no,
anything.
no, no.
We are debating a
As
document.
far as this
Prove
document,
your innocence. That's not attacking
As
CPC.
far as,
This
let me
is
come.
wrong.
Lawyer
Hold on,
Ibrahim,
hold on,
attack your
hold on.
innocent.
Hold on, everybody, ceasefire. Hold on, your mics are off. Hold on, everybody, ceasefire. Ishak, the CPP
Yes.
is not the only political party to
Yes.
comment on this or to criticize government. So
Okay,
are you trying to
yes.
say that any political party that criticizes government
The
is
so-
aligned with the opposition
so-called
party?
Nkrumah Hayes parties, they are now rather seen to be an extension of the NDC.
No. I'm asking. So I'm asking you. I'm asking you, Ishak. I'm asking you. Hold on. I'm asking you. Hold on. I'm asking you, Ishak. So,
Yes.
so anybody who criticizes government is part of the opposition,
No, not
or it's part
really.
of the
It's
NDC.
not-
Is
it's
that
not
is that what you're
anybody.
saying?
It's not
So what
anybody.
point are you trying
It's
to
a
make?
right observation I've made that the CBP these days mostly agree with some of the outrageous.
So if the CPP, hold on.
I'll come.
Your mics are off.
I'll come to talk
Hold
to
on.
that.
Hold on.
I'll
Hold
come to
on.
talk to that. Let me.
So
Yes.
are you trying to say if somebody agrees
Yes.
with something that another opposition party is doing, it means they are stooges or anything like
No,
that? Is that
not
what you're saying?
necessarily. Not necessarily. But I've told you
So would
that.
you say when Mr.
having
Jantwa? So would you
observed-
say when Mr. Jantwa said
Yes.
that a lot of the policies that the MPP wanted to implement are
Yes.
excellent policies.
Yes.
They are very good policies.
Nevertheless, he still
So does it
condemned the
mean that he
implementation.
is?
No. So one can
So does it mean that
look.
he's
The point:
sympathizing with
if
the
somebody
MPP?
recognize your policy is good,
and my MPP
and say your
colleague-
implementation
my
is
MPP
very
my
very
M- my
poor,
MPP
the
colleague-
person is not actually
my
agreeing with you.
MPP
The
colleague
person is
just said
setting.
that the president wasn't allowed. What did I
The
say?
person
I
is
said
staging
he
the
said
stage
wrong.
to criticize
All
you.
right, very
If
well.
somebody
Let's
says
get
your
back to the
policy is
issue.
very good.
Let's get back to the issue.
Okay.
Yeah, but
So to get back to
It's not
get back to
Let's
the
get back to
main
the
points.
issue.
To
Yes.
get back to the main points.
Yes.
This document is prepared with something in mind. I will talk to that. Just give me
Please
a
land.
moment.
Please land on
Just
your 2
give me a
minutes. Please
moment.
land on your 2 minutes.
You see
You
that?
have 1 minute more.
Just give me a moment.
Yes.
You see, this document is prepared with something in mind. They are promoting it now vigorously because the 2024 election, Ghanaians are not going to fall for it. If you really want to win this particular election, Akufo-Addo, the people you are attributing this document to, they are no longer the main person in the ticket.
Okay.
The current ticket is Bawumia. So some of your concerns that you think you have has been addressed because it's now headed by
Akufo-Addo is not coming
Bawumia.
again.
Akufo-Addo is not going to be in the ballot.
He
All
should
right.
prove to us that he
So-
can be his own
All right, let's
man.
move on.
And then there's no need.
Let's move on.
And to talk to the point that look,
Let's move
how
on.
do you take a faceless person to court? The person who supposedly wrote this document has not revealed themselves.
The president said it's
And
the
for
opposition.
me,
The
you
president said
cannot
it's
reach
opposition.
your destination.
Didn't you hear
If
the
you have to
president?
throw stones at every
Counsel,
dog that
did you
backs
not
at
hear
you,
the president?
you
Did you not hear the
cannot reach your
president?
destination. The whole idea, can you see that they are promoting that somebody should go to court? They want for us to waste our energy in talking about useless things.
No, but you said
We are
that.
not going to waste our energy.
Hold on, but
a useless document
hold
prepared
on,
by
counsel.
somebody with mischief in
But
mind.
he said you can't take a faceless person to court, right?
How do you check a faceless
But
person
the
to court?
president says that it's the NDC who did it.
No, the present words is actually his political opponent
And
or
who
his
are
political
they?
enemy.
And who are they?
He has not actually
And who are
mentioned a single
they?
So
thing.
doesn't that suggest?
But I am here
as
to
a lawyer,
say
as a
that,
lawyer,
eh?
as a lawyer, doesn't that
Yes.
suggest that then he knows?
I did tell
He
you
has an
that,
idea of who is behind
I did
it.
tell you that you cannot reach your destination if you have to throw a stone at every dog that backs at you. Some energy need to be channeled. Our energy.
So
now,
he's just not interested in
our,
following
no,
it.
they,
That's
because
all,
they
that's
want
all.
distraction.
That's all,
Our
that's all.
energy now is channeled towards winning the December election, and
All
this
right.
is what we want to do. If the NDC wants, if the NDC and the CPP wants, they can spend all their time discussing this
All right,
document.
very well.
up to
Let's
election
move on.
day.
The president
move on.
was caught out, so he had to come and tell us. He was caught out. The document caught him out, so he had to come and talk about it.
No.
Why hasn't he spoken about it all this while? And now he's talking about it.
If somebody
Please.
is arrested today,
All right.
he will be
So let's move on to our next issue. Mr. Janto, I'll begin with you on this one. Mr. Janto, so
They are faceless people
The NDC launched their youth-focused policies on the day of the International Youth Day, and the NDC. One of the things that the NDC has promised is that.
Say again, please.
One of the things that the NDC has promised is that first year or level 100 students are not going to pay any admission fees. So essentially, everything is free for them. Maybe except for accommodation. I started with him, so I'm starting with you on this. No. Mr. Johnson, let me start with you. Let me start with you. Okay, let me start with you, Ishak. That's fine. Mr. Johnson doesn't want to start. So let me start with you, Ishak.
Yes, thank you very much. So, yes, it's good that they have revealed themselves very early for us to really see the emptiness of their manifesto. Promising free first-year university is really an interesting concept. I've had the opportunity of teaching in the university in the UK, Queen Mary, and I'm also teaching at least for the past 3 years at the UPSA. So I know university education and how costly it can be. If you look critically around the world, with the exception of Arab countries and also Qatar and UAE, where university education is free for their citizens, there is no country in the Western world that offers free education. That's why they have vast resources as compared to us. In the UK, for example, they divide their students into home students and overseas or foreign students. Mm-hmm. The home student typically pay up to 12 to 14,000 pounds a year. In fact, it used to be pegged at 9,000 before it was moved, and they were facilitated by loan scheme to be enabled them to attend. In the United States, it has even gone to the extreme. They charge as high as 20,000, 30,000 for home students and much higher for international students.
Yeah.
That tells you that university education is really important but not affordable for many countries around the world. Now, the proposal is good provided they were capable of implementing it. We know history, we learn history for a reason. History tells you how the past has been and suggests to you how the future is likely to be. The NDC, it is the party during the 1998, 99, 2000 academic years. They were the very party. I was a tertiary student in Ghana then. They were the very party that introduced what they call cost sharing. We were out on the streets more than 4 months. They were telling us it wasn't affordable. No country in the world make it universally accessible to everybody. And therefore, there was a need for us to pay for what they call cost sharing. In other words, shifting the fee to students. They did that. And then they came back and forced students to pay utility bills. It was an NDC that said it wasn't affordable. Less than 4, 5, 6 years ago, it was the NDC flag bearer who withdrew allowances to training college students as well as nursing students, citing that it wasn't affordable. And when it comes to free SHS, when the MPP finally implemented the idea in the manifesto, the NDC rise up against it, saying that it wasn't affordable. We shouldn't implement it. It's now shocking that they have come to own the very policy that we implemented because it is good. They lie. This one, I have to put it straight. Ghanaians know it's a lie for NDC to claim that free SHS is for them. Because it is not. You oppose it in Parliament up to the implementation. You continue to oppose it. Then less than 3 months ago, you turn up to say you own it. You implemented it. So if they were capable of implementing it, but this is another deception for them to deceive students because free SHS has become successful and they cannot really build upon it. They have to run to say that the first year. And listen to their communications. Their director of communication and apparently some key members of the NDC, they don't even understand their own manifesto. One is saying that the technical universities are excluded. Others are saying that they are part of it. Which is which? The NDC themselves, because this is just a cooked up policy to deceive Ghanaians, they don't even have an agreement as to which universities will access it whether the technical universities or the mainstream traditional universities, they themselves are confused of their own policy. Because it is not generally a policy. It is something designed to deceive Ghanaians. And the question people ask is, if you are a poor person who are assessed in the first year, what happened to the second year? What happened to the third year? My belief is that if we are unlucky as a country for the NDC to come to power, they are going to seriously underfund the universities. They are going to seriously underfund universities. And if the NDC is really serious, if the NDCs are really serious about the future of the Ghanaian youth, they should focus on basic education. Focus on making sure that children primary school, junior high school, and senior high school is built on strong foundation. Because countries throughout the world, this has been their focus. The countries that have become developed today, Britain, United States, Canada, and even Singapore, before our independence, following independence, we were better than Singapore. They focus on this basic education to build a strong, to give the needed skills to their youth. This is why they are doing today. I think a serious party will focus on basic education. Okay. And look at, as a human rights law lecturer, look at the UDHR as well as the civil and the civil covenant and economic covenant. The emphasis is on basic education. Even though the economic covenant says progressively free, there's no covenant, human rights law document that tells you to provide even the university education for people. Because the priority should be basic education. You build them strongly. So I think on Sunday, Ghanaians will wake up to the MPP manifesto.
By now, the NDC have not launched their manifesto.
They haven't launched it, but we have seen a snapshot of it.
Okay.
Which they themselves don't even understand because they are contradicting each other. The evidence is there. So what Sami Gemfi said is different from what the other said. Who is covered? So when they realize that, okay, the technical universities, they are really many. If we focus on the mainstream universities, we are likely to lose more votes because the technical universities seem to be more than the mainstream universities. Then someone will quickly change the policy to cover them. Is this really a policy? And if it is a policy that they themselves don't understand, then the implementation will be a problem.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
The implementation will be a problem because it's a policy that you yourself don't understand. Coming back to you, Chris, and I've also heard some people say, well, why don't you target this free level 100 admission fee policy that you want to do? Why don't you make it targeted rather than making it wholesale? Because you are the very people who criticized the free SHS from the very beginning. So if you're a party which didn't believe in free SHS from the very beginning, now you're promising free tertiary, education, or should I say free level 100 tertiary education. Essentially, that's what the promise is. Or correct me if I'm wrong.
Lantam, thank you for the opportunity. Let me ask you yourself, as a Ghanaian, a journalist, do you believe that NDC is against free SHS? Do you believe that?
No.
Thank you. Look, Ibrahim, lawyer Ibrahim.
But the fact still remains that you were against free
the
SHS.
The facts also remain that
when
NDC.
Hold on. The fact remains that you were against free SHS when it was being proposed, and you said it can't be done. It will not be done. You remember Fifi Kwete say all lie be lie and all of that. So that's a clear demonstration that the NDC did not believe in the free SHS policy that was being proposed.
But the facts
you didn't believe that it could be done. But now it has changed.
Listen.
Now
look,
that has changed.
You said
so
the facts. Look, I'm taking you to the facts. The facts also
then,
still remain that
yes.
NDC introduced progressive free SHS.
That is true.
Is it not true?
That is true.
So you question yourself. Anybody who says that NDC is against free SHS but introduce free progressive education must question his line of thinking. Anybody who believes that NDC is against free SHS should be questioning his line of thinking. Someone who does not believe in free SHS can introduce progressively free education policy. then we need to question people line of thinking. Let me go quickly on the youth manifesto and NDC policy on the free admission for 1,100 students in public universities. Listen,
yes,
I say public universities.
Universities, yes. So it means every university that is public.
That's why public. I know where he was driving,
including technical universities.
All public universities.
Right.
It's not about technical or whatever. When they are public universities,
they are included.
Admission for 1,100 students are free.
Right.
And this will happen under Mahama Jane administration. Nothing will change it. But you see, the way you are, the way you think, you must at times think that is how others think. The way they lie, how they promise, and they don't follow their promises. To lawyer, he believed that this is something NDC will come and will not implement. But I want to assure you that it will be implemented and there won't be problems. Look, NDC will never run away from the fact that we didn't criticize the implementation of free SHS policy. We criticize it, we still criticize it. Even in this policy, President Mahama said it, that look, we will make sure that we improve the feeding of the free SHS, the students there. Lantam, I don't know if you have a son or a brother in free SHS, in a boarding house, you go and see their feeding. The food they eat, you may not like to feed your dog, your pets in the house. Is it not true? So, my brother, policy is, we don't praise a policy, but the implementation, I keep saying this. I don't know why a lawyer, you've made your ear so hard like an elephant. That I'm saying something you don't want to listen or hear. Look, President Mahama said, we will make sure, he has said it clearly, the funding. This is the man who has made mention how money will be raised, the source of funding. And you sit here and say it's empty.
So you believe in criticism, right?
Why not?
So how do you respond to the civil society organizations like Africa Education Watch and others who are saying that, okay, well, considering where we are as a country, if you want to do a wholesale every level 100 students, it may not be the best. So why don't you target those who will actually need it? Do a certain means testing and a certain targeting, and then do the free admission for those who actually need it. Identify a certain group of people who are poor and all of that, and give that to them. How do you respond to? They said that will be a better way of implementing.
We in NDC have no problem. We are Democrats. We believe.
So do you take that feedback?
I'm saying they are contributing to knowledge
and revise your.
We are contributing. They are
policy?
Contributing to knowledge, and when people contribute to knowledge, you listen to them and also do your assessment.
Right.
That's why NDC have a good leadership. We have good leaders. Nobody has popo their criticism, that's their opinion. But we'll have a look at it. Okay. If we feel that it is good for our plans, why not?
Okay.
Unlike these people, you criticize them when you are contributing to knowledge, they think you are attacking them. You have a human rights lawyer, somebody who is a lecturer in a university, is saying that he's condemning the free admission of 1,100 university students and calling it empty. These are lawyers we have in MPP world.
No, he said it
is empty.
He said it's something that you can't do.
Lantam, I'm here. He said
it's a good idea provided they can.
You said it's empty. You use the word empty. How is it? This is the double standards of. That's why I say these are lawyers MPP have in MPP is having.
Qualified
That's
lawyers.
MPP lawyers.
Qualified lawyers.
Oh please, I was CEO.
Okay.
If you want us to do this way, you may not speak again.
Well,
something that is empty. Listen, I'm just quoting you. I am attacking your submission, not your person. Something that is empty, you turn around and say it is good policy, but the implementation. How can something empty be good? Did you listen to yourself? You said it is empty. You turn around and say it is good. How can something good be empty? To you. Look, President Mahama said, this policy, I will implement it, and told Ghanaians the cost, how it will cost, and the source of funding. If you don't want it, we have a situation, somebody was asked how he found that free SHS. He was saying, and then when I come. But today, we have a leader, a very credible visionary leader, who said, look, this is my policy, and this is how I found it, and this is going to be the cost. Do you need anybody to explain this to you? If not,
All right.
but for mischief, look, Lantam, don't come in when you
I
you
need to
describe
come
a
in now.
missing point.
I'm
President
also-
Mama said,
Because
I
I'm
will-
also looking at the time because I have to give everybody the same time. You get it? So please
How many
finish.
minutes? How many
finish.
minutes did you give?
You have 2 minutes more.
No problem. Even
Yes.
even you, that's why I say don't come in.
Okay.
When my 2 minutes are up, tell me.
No, but
and I will do justice to the 2 minutes. Don't worry, relax. President Mama said, I will cut the cost. I am going to cut the budget of the presidency budget alone. Can find this. If presidency budget can cost her 2 billion, and you need between 297 290 million to fund this project, why don't I cut off to do it? President Mama said the 5 million cabinet retreat that this government, this insensitive government, and that this situation could use 5 million for cabinet retreat, all those waste will be cut off. We will direct those monies to support for the implementation of this policy. President Mama said he will not be flying here and there with a girlfriend and bathing like we are experiencing today under President Akufo-Addo. 69 million Ghana cedis for travels alone.
No, if you want to say it
Oh,
right.
please.
I mean, who said
I'm saying that
President
why the travels?
Akufo-Addo
We know
didn't
about President
travel with
President
any girlfriend.
said, look,
there was
President
a
Mama
travel.
said,
So if you are, if you
my
want to
God,
talk, no,
man,
hold
Tam,
on, hold
we
on.
did the 2
no,
minutes,
no,
oh,
no,
we
no.
did the 2
See,
minutes.
see, allow me to do my job. Look, if you are saying something, you need to say there. You need to say it and state the facts
Lanta,
that
I'm
are
a
available
communicator.
to
I
all
quote
of us.
my president, and I don't need.
If you say,
my
no, hold
boss
on,
made
hold
mention
on,
of travels.
hold on,
Don't you know
hold
about
on,
president travels?
Hold on. Let me explain what I'm telling you. I'm saying that if you are going to state the travels, state it accurately. We all know that the president was traveling on a private jet, which was heavily criticized. You can talk about that, but where did the girlfriend come from? Who said the president was traveling on a private jet with his
Aren't you
girlfriend?
aware of Sewa Bruni?
What-
Is it your first time to hear of Sewa Bruni?
who
we
said
not
he was
told
traveling
that
in private
president need
jets
to bath?
with
Didn't finance minister told us that president need to bath in a
Yeah,
flight?
but I'm telling you that if you are saying all of those things, say those things because those
Don't
things are
worry.
on record. But when you go into the
if
realms
the
of his
girlfriend
girlfriend,
is
it
making
doesn't,
your-
it doesn't
if Sewa
help.
Bruni, listen
It doesn't
to me,
help the
listen,
discussion.
Lantam,
It doesn't
let me
help
move
the
on.
discussion.
Lantam, can you let
It doesn't
me
help
move
the
on?
discussion.
Don't worry.
Let me come to
if
Mr.
Sewa
Jantua.
Bruni is making you uncomfortable, let me tell you, President Mama will not bath in a flight. That will cost Ghanaians 69 million Ghana cedis. That money will be directed to the support of this policy.
Okay, very well.
The
Let me
poor
come to
people who cannot afford. Let me finish.
very well. Let me come to
The
Mr.
money
Jantua.
that is found in Cecilia, the per bedroom alone can fund this policy.
Let me come to Mr. Jantua
The
now.
waste will be cut.
It's
There
not a
will
matter
not
of
be waste
it's not a
and
matter
the Mama
and-
Jane administration.
Very well, Mr. Jantua, let me come to you, and it's not a matter of me being uncomfortable. It's a matter of no, it's a matter it's a matter of when we are communicating. Let's state the things that are actually facts, and let us be decorous, and not bring in. Let's not be bringing in things that are not fact. That's the point I'm trying to make. Mr. Jantua, let me come to you now.
Let me look at two areas.
Yes,
The GET fund is capped, isn't it?
it is.
It's mortgaged, isn't it?
It is.
It brings money into the educational system, doesn't it?
It does.
So, even if we say we are going to uncap the GET fund and let it, rise and get whatever money is there, can we not use it to do what the former president is talking about, or in any part of the educational setup? Number two, the other bit that brings money into the system so quickly is the oil industry. Have we done production, exploration to production in the last 8 years? Have we been able to do it? And if we are able to do it, will it not bring money into the system? But Lantam, you know what saddens me? What saddens me is the fact that other countries were referred to. Council referred to America, UK, how these things are done. It's being able to be done there because universally the political parties there have agreed that education should be such that it's affordable. Have we been able to agree in this country within our political parties that this should be so? And that we sit on platforms like this and argue amongst ourselves when we know education is expensive? Should there not be a consensus within all political parties that there are certain sectors of the economy that we should all agree on and make sure that we finance it? Should it not be so? Should we not pick certain sectors of the economy and agree as political parties? Education being one of them, housing being another, agriculture being another, energy being another. Should we not? Agriculture being another, where we all agree that these are areas where it affects the people directly. So as political parties, let's agree. How we achieve it would be a different matter. But let's all agree. Don't let us argue about this at all. Then today, someone is saying basic education, someone is saying tertiary education, someone is saying university education. How? When we know the cost of education is not cheap. But anyway, the MPP brought in free education in tertiary. Huh? Really and truly, if we want free education tertiary, I can afford to take my child to school. Why should I acquiesce to free if I can afford it? If I can afford it, shouldn't it be targeted? Shouldn't it be targeted? And rather, for university, those areas where we lack expertise, we look at. And yesterday, I was listening to the Auditor General, one of the Auditor General report, where a student had taken a student loan and she was bonded, and what happened was that an opportunity came for her to go and learn geriatric, is that how they pronounce it? Geriatric medicine. And decided to go, and they told her that, you owe 300,000 on your, what do you call it, your education thing that government gave you. So how are you going to pay it? She said she'll be able to pay 1,000 every month. He went to public accounts. They said it, and parliamentarians said they should take her to Yoko because she hasn't been able to pay. And the course that she's going to do, there's not even one specialist in Ghana who is practicing that course here. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? So MPP, NDC, CPP, we can't all sit down and say we all agree that there has to be free education for our youth. How do we do it? Can we not sit down and think it through? And that we have to be knocking heads? It saddens me. It saddens me. President Akufo-Addo came and said, tertiary education, free. Former President Mahama is saying, first year students find it difficult, trespassing first year. So maybe we should also look at that, make it free. And the MPP look at it, well, it's a good idea. We have done this one, so it would help continue the process go forward. Isn't that a good way to look at things? Why should we be knocking heads? Nyansa wohoi, eni nipa baku trim. Sense. It's not in one person's head. And especially where a country is concerned, even more so. Even more so. Right now, you will see this galamsey that is happening in what you call it, on the Accra Kumasi Road. Should we not all condemn it and say it's wrong and try as much as possible to get our chiefs to promote agriculture? All of us promote agriculture, but then you see, we'll be knocking our heads together. How do we develop a nation that way? How do we build a nation that way? You see, the politics is creating so much rancor that is not allowing us to think. It's not allowing us to see how we can put this country on a better footing. Are we on a better footing? Would you say, Lantam, you working today, how long have you been a journalist for? And would you say, from university that you came into journalism, you can sit yourself down and say, oh yes, it's been good? Huh? I'm sure you even had to struggle to buy your own vehicle. I'm sure. At your age right now, shouldn't you be planning to have your own house? Is it possible? And when even our tertiary university students finish, is there a job at the end of the table? Those are the things we should be thinking of and not knocking our heads together. We all agree free education is good.
Right.
How we approach it, it's what we should think about. But we should think about it collectively.
Right. Very well. We've run out of time now, and so we'd have to be ending the breakfast, the week in review segment here. And I'm very grateful to my guests for joining us in the studio today, for us to have these discussions here on the Morning Star. Before I go, let me just say this is a special birthday request. So it says a very special happy birthday to Anna Gabrielle Nyamize Kukwa Selby. Your mom, your dad, your uncles, your aunties, your grandpa, and your grandma wish to celebrate you on this special day. You are one and very special. We thank God for your life, and may this day mark the beginning of many years of God's protection and blessings in Jesus' name. Happy birthday from your mom and dad. Okay, so that's the birthday wish there. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us here in the studio today for our discussions. Chris Dugan. Belami is communications team member for the
You said he's
NDC.
blessed.
Ishaq Ibrahim is private legal practitioner, law lecturer at the UPSA, and Mr. Kwame Jantwa is private legal practitioner, member of the
Sulantam,
Convention
share
People's
and share
Party.
alike. You ask. Share and share alike.
I'm coming for it.
No.
I'm coming for it. I'm
Share
coming
and
for
share
it.
alike.
Thank you very much. Keep listening to Star 103.5 FM. There are more programs to follow. My name is Lantam Papanko. Have a wonderful day.
Open the door. Drop it, Acapulco Bay, and I'm in battle shit.